I'm Lucian Canton, and I'm going to tell you why your emergency plan will fail and 2 important things you can do about it. As a consultant, I'm often called in to assess a client's level of readiness. All too often, what I find is that that client is relying almost solely on their emergency plan without any supporting activities. It's a bit like the emergency plan becoming a fire extinguisher. You make an initial purchase, you put it on the shelf, it sits there for a while, maybe once a year you take it down, you dust it off, you change some phone numbers, but by and large, it just sits there and does nothing. Does this sound familiar? If you're in this situation, your emergency plan will fail because you failed to create the environment for that plan's success. So what can you do about it? First, forget about your emergency plan. That's right, throw it away. You're not really after an emergency plan. You need to stop focusing on the emergency plan, which is merely a tool, and think about the end results you want to achieve. That end result is a program and a process that sets your company up to survive a crisis, not just to create an emergency plan. To do that, you don't need a plan, you need a program. That program needs to be enterprise-wide, based on the best available evidence we have about what can occur during a disaster or a crisis, and based on standards. But most important, your plan has to be perceived as adding value to your company. It can't be something that is outside your day-to-day business, it has to be part of your day-to-day business. It's something that has to be just the way you operate and not something you wait to do in just a crisis. Secondly, stop listening to the experts. Experts that will tell you that you have to use a particular system, or you have to use a particular piece of software, or you have to buy the latest whiz-bang. Instead, focus on who your organization is. What's your corporate culture? Is your management hierarchical or consensus-driven? Is your company risk-averse or risk-tolerant? How do you make decisions on a day-to-day basis? What's important to your company? What's your vision? All of these are elements that go towards making sure that your plan will actually work. If your plans are not aligned with your corporate culture, they won't work and they will fail. These 2 things, making sure that you have an enterprise-wide program and aligning your program with your corporate culture, are 2 fundamental essential elements that must be present for your plan to succeed. There are other things, but if you don't have these 2 covered, your plan will fail.